What's up, everyone? My name is Obi. If you are new to this channel, hey, what's up? I am going to try to make this video as short as possible and basically let you guys know all about my natural hair salon experience. If you watched the last video that I had about the last time I went to the salon, listen, it was tragic. It was a tragic experience. This time I went to the salon in Harlem. It's called Natural Sisters Hair Salon, and this is not the hair style that they gave me. I know you're probably like, yo, you paid for that, bro. Nah, I'll insert a clip of what it was when I left the salon. This is me trying to repurpose the style because it didn't last. Basically, the style didn't last. But if you're interested in watching this video, then keep on watching. So from the last one that I did where I went to the salon, like, it seemed from the comment section that we're all kind of lost. Like, we're like, we don't know where to go. Like, where do I go that's not gonna cost an arm and a leg, that's gonna do me justice? Like, where do I go? Like, where do I go, basically? So, like, a salon kept on popping up in my search, you know, every time I was like searching for salons because I needed to get my hair trimmed. That's the main reason why I end up going to the salon, because I need a trim. So I was like, okay, fine, let me just check them out, see what they're about. I mean, it can't really be, how bad could it be? You know what I mean? Because I was like, I just need a trim. I don't really need my hair straightened or anything like that. I learned from the last video because that stuff don't last. It don't last in the summer. It don't last in the heat. It don't last in this humidity. And I mean, my style still didn't last in this heat and still didn't last in the humidity. It wasn't necessarily about the heat. It was more so the fact that it's just been raining a lot in New York. And so the humidity and the rain hit it and it was just game over for me. But yeah, this is just me roughly trying to brush out the texture. I didn't really brush it out all the way. That's why I say roughly. I didn't brush it out all the way, and I just kind of like put it into bantu knots, and this is the result. So yeah. Okay, so let's get started on the actual salon and my experience and everything like that. So when you're booking with the salon, there is an online booking system, which I appreciate because I am a person who doesn't like talking to people on the phone that I don't know. I went on the online booking service and the person basically, and then it turns out though, because this is not the first time that I've been to this salon. I've actually been there before previously, but I was getting braids done. This is the first time that I'm actually going to style like my natural hair, you know? So from that time, I could also see that they have like some issues with like the online booking service. So basically what happens is that you book a person online, they show you like the reviews of like the stylists and stuff like that, like how many stars they have. I don't think you can see like why they have the rating that they have, but you can just like see that they have like a certain amount of stars, you know, and you're like, okay, like I want that person because they have like a good rating. This is my first time, like I said, but that time that I went to go get my braids done, I saw that clearly something about the online booking system and like, you know, how it plays out doesn't really always match up, if that makes sense. Like there was people who came in and they didn't have a stylist or like something of that nature. Basically, it's like it's not really all the way, or like the stylist couldn't make it or something like that, or whatever. But there was like a lot of rescheduling, like, oh, you can't do this time because blah blah blah, the online booking system isn't accurate. Like I heard the receptionist always saying that kind of thing. But nonetheless, you can call them, but I just didn't feel like doing that, so I went through the online booking system again. So you book it online, you book a time, you book the stylist, and then the stylist has to accept it. And I originally booked an appointment with a stylist named Pawnese, something like that. And she had like really good reviews and everything like that. So when I booked it with Pawnese, then she declined it. Basically, she just like canceled the appointment or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just try for a different day. I got a call like the next day from the receptionist saying like, hey, Pawnese is on vacation and she can't do your hair, so we are going to put you with a stylist named Reagan. And I was like, I mean, I haven't like seen Reagan's ratings or anything like that, so I'm just kind of going into this blind. And I was like, okay, I guess, sure, because at the end of the day, I still need to get my hair trimmed. So I was like, okay, fine. And so I show up, and there's two spots essentially. There's like the main one, basically, where the upstairs is like the salon part, downstairs they have the braiding, and then across the street is where I was supposed to go, but I didn't really know that because nobody really told me that that's where Reagan was located. So I walk into the salon. My appointment was for 2 o'clock. I got there like 2:05. I was running a little bit late, got there like 2:05. There was another stylist in there who was doing somebody's hair, and she was, you know, she's the one who greeted me. There wasn't a receptionist at the desk or whatever. And she was just like, hey, like, who do you have? Who's your stylist? And I told her who I was here to see, and then she points to me across the street to a place called the Weave Lounge. It's called the Weave Lounge. So I went across the street, and sure enough, like, there was a whole nother salon there, you know. It looked really, really nice inside. Both places look nice. It's not as if like one looks nice and the other place looks like kind of janky, you know. Like, they both look really nice on the inside, what you expect to see at a salon. I came inside, and I saw a stylist doing flexi rod set on this other girl, and she was like, hey, who are you here to see? Because the receptionist wasn't in the front, I don't know. Anyways, and I said, oh, I'm here to see Reagan. And she was just like, oh, okay, have a seat. So unbeknownst to me, she didn't really introduce herself and say like, hey, my name is Reagan. So I was like, okay, fine, sat down. I didn't know that that was Reagan. She didn't get started on me until maybe like 2:20, and that's pretty much kind of the same tune with everyone else who came in as well. The manager, okay, she's not like a receptionist, she's more of like a manager because she seems to be like, you know, running things. But basically she was the one going around to people who were coming in like, oh, okay, like, your stylist isn't ready, or do you want to go get food or something like that and come back, and like, you know, whatever. But basically you're not gonna get started now, so like, either have a seat, or you could go get food, or you can cancel if you want to cancel, or whatever the case may be, but basically you're not getting seen now. So she was the one like mixing and matching. Some other girl stylist wasn't there or something like that. I guess they had like some kind of emergency or something like that. So she was like, I'm gonna find you someone else who can do your hair. And yeah, so I don't know exactly if these people who are coming are like repeat customers, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if I was someone who I knew like for sure I wanted this certain stylist, and I got there and you told me that like my stylist isn't there, or like something along those lines, like I would be mad, because I'd be like, why did I come? Basically, like, I didn't have to come. Like, you could have told me this over the phone or something like that, or, you know, basically something should have been conveyed before I got here that like, this is the situation. So moving on, so she finally gets started with me, and I tell her, you know, she asked me like, oh, okay, what do you want to get done? What I booked online was a perm rod set and a detailed trim. That's what I booked. So she was like, you know, those are the small ones, right? And I'm like, yeah. I was thinking I was gonna have like a little curly fro moment, like, I don't know her name, but I'll insert a picture of like what I'm talking about. You gonna know who it is when I show you, because like, she's all over Instagram, and every time you see like a perm rod set, it's her face. So basically I was saying I was gonna have one of those cute little moments like, yes, you know. And she was just like, nah sis, you got too much hair for that. So she kind of explained to me that they don't carry the big perm rods. They usually use the perm rods for people with like shorter hair, like TWAs and stuff like that. She showed me like the perm rods, and they were like the white ones, you know, like the little small white ones. So I was just like, yeah, okay, that's not going to work. So she basically suggested that we do a flexi rod set instead, and I agreed. I was like, okay, fine, sure, whatever. I didn't really need the style, honestly. I just kind of figured like, okay, what am I going to get that, or what could I get that will look cute on stretched hair already, you know what I mean? The cheapest option that they had was a wash and go. So I think that it was like $30 or something like that. But, you know, with her going to be trimming my hair, I knew that they were gonna blow dry it out. So I was okay, well, what would look cute on stretched hair, basically? Which I was like, okay, well, clearly it's between the perm rod and the flexi rod set, and I wanted the tighter curls, so I wanted to do the perm rod. But yeah, anyways. So she washed me. I asked her, like, what kind of conditioning treatment do you have? and she just kind of did like a whole mixture kind of thing, put me underneath the steamer. That was great. She was saying that my hair was like dry, which I mean, a lot of naturals struggle with dry hair. So like the way that she conveyed it though was really, really nice. And she emphasized the need for like a steam, because I told her like, okay, like what I use, there might be like one time where I might run out of something and I need to like reorder it or something like that, and I'm using something else. But for the most part, I pretty much just use TGIN products. She was like, okay, cool, but you need to do like steam treatments. Basically, she was saying like how the steam is going to be very effective in like helping your hair to retain moisture and stuff like that. And you know, going on about the importance of getting like doing a steam treatment and how inexpensive they are. So I am definitely going to like take her up on that suggestion and buy a steamer. I'm here in China now, so I mean, I think I looked it up and it was literally like $15 or something like that. But if you go on Amazon and everything like that, like you can definitely get one for pretty cheap too, relatively cheap. You're not gonna have to spend like an arm and a leg for a steamer. Excuse me, a hair steamer. So she definitely stressed that. So make sure you're steaming, guys, because when I came in, she was installing the flexi rods. So now that client was underneath the dryer while I was getting my hair steamed and while she was working on me. So after she rinsed me out, then she kind of just like put like the plastic caps on my head to keep the water in, and then she was like, okay, well, you're gonna have to bear with me while I, you know, finish off this other person. And so I kind of like sat there and was like waiting for her to take out the flexi rods and, you know, separate the curls and take pictures of the other person's hair and all the other stuff that you gotta do. So it wasn't really bad. I was just like on my phone scrolling on like Instagram and like stuff like that. Let's go on to the actual styling process. Okay, so the products that she used was, she used the leave-in, she used the foaming mousse to do the actual flexi rod set, and then she used like their butter, some like butter thing, but I think it wasn't water based, it was like oil based, you know. It was like one of those things so that she can separate and, you know, take down the hair so that it's not frizzy. Everything after that like conditioning treatment, I feel like it didn't really do much for my hair in terms of moisture, because my hair feels dry. I just didn't want to like wash it, and I think that's also why my Pt.2 knot set kind of came out like this, because it wasn't set up for success, you know what I mean? Like it just wasn't set up for success. So especially because number one, I didn't like add anything else to it. Like I just kind of just used what I had and what was already in my hair. So like I think ultimately I just didn't have enough products in my hair that were like moisturizing, and that's why my hair feels like the way that it does. But I guess maybe she figured for the style it was, then that's what I needed. What she did was she put in some leave-in, it was like this light like leave-in conditioner or something like that, or I'm not entirely sure what it was, but I assume it was like a leave-in. So she sectioned it off into like, I think maybe 6 parts, and she detangled all the hair. She was using like a Demon brush, and I was like looking like, dang, I knew that I should have brought my own brush, because Demon brushes, I just had a feeling, you know, because it just seems like every time, well, this is the second time that I've gone, but every time I go to the salon, it seems like what they have there isn't sufficient for I know my hair, you know, I just know my hair and the way that it works and everything like that. And I just knew that like when she put out that Demon brush, I was like, sis, I bought that at the beginning of my natural hair journey, and unless you got some other different technique or something like that, like it's just not gonna do nothing for me. I bought it at the beginning of my natural hair journey. Oh, I'm natural, I gotta have a Demon brush. No, sis, that thing just, it wasn't doing nothing. So I didn't really say all this. I was just kind of like watching to see like, okay, what's going to happen basically, and what I suspected happened. It got through, but it was just like, I felt like she was having to work really hard, because my hair just don't be going through the Denman. I don't know why, but it just doesn't go through the Denman. So after she finally tangled my hair, then we got to like the blow drying process, and she was just like, oh my gosh, like she was doing it and I felt bad. I felt bad again because she was trying to use the Denman, and I was just like so she switched to the comb attachment, and honestly that worked a million times better because it was just going through at that. I was like, okay, like, yeah girl, you need a comb, because the Denman, I don't know what, but the Denman just does not work on me. Like it just does not work on me. So But that seems like the only brush they got in that store, so I don't know. Make of that what you will. Maybe bring your own stuff. When she was blow drying my hair, I was having flashbacks to the last time I went to the salon, because sis was like, my arms, like she was like, you got a lot of hair. So I think part of the issue is that, number one, I did need to trim, but then also like, I just have a lot of hair. I have a lot of hair, and so I'm like, girl, like I came to you because I don't want to do it clearly, so like that's why I'm here. Because I could have blow dried my hair myself and then came to them just for the trim, you know, but didn't do that. So she was like going at it, you know, finally have that done. She trims me up. She only took off 1.5 inches. I thought it was gonna be way more, honestly, because the last time that I've had my hair professionally trimmed was a year ago. So this salon visit is like basically a year from the last salon visit. In between that time, maybe like 6 months after I got my hair trimmed there, then I trimmed it myself. And so, but I feel like whenever I trim myself, I don't know like how much to take off basically. But she said that my hair wasn't that bad. I'm trusting that that's what it needs. She's supposed to be the professional, and she said it only needs 1.5 inches. Then I'm gonna take it that it only needs 1.5 inches. I don't know. After she did the trimming, then she started to do the flexi rods. After she installed the flexi rods, and she was basically saying like, okay, well, that last girl that I saw when I came inside, like she had trouble fitting her underneath the dryer, and she was like, I thought she had a lot of hair. She was like a Latina girl. She was like, oh, I thought that she had a lot of hair, but like you got a lot of hair, bro. So she was like, I need to figure out like how I'm gonna put these flexi rods in so that I can like fit you underneath the dryer, because the other girl, like she basically had to like stuff her head in, and so she was doing mine, and she kind of just you know, it was still having difficulty going in. I think I just got a big head, honestly. I got a big head, and I got a good amount of hair on my head, so it's just like, it's just a lot going on. She didn't really separate it and fluff it as much as like it could have been, because I told her that I was going to be traveling, and so she said like, you know, we both were like, okay, like let's try to make this style last basically. And so she kind of like separated it a little bit, and it was just like super perfect. I don't know how to explain it. It was like those Shirley Temple curls. That's another thing. And I feel like they do, not I feel like, I know that they do all of their flexi rod sets the exact same. So if you want them to like put it so it's more of a rotation, you know what I mean? They kind of just roll it up like this instead of twisting it like this, so that it's more of like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's more of like a, instead of being like a log, it should be more of like a spiral, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Overall though, like the vibes in there were really nice. They played really nice music. They offered me wine. I should have taken the wine, huh? But they offered me like water, wine, different refreshments, stuff like that. And yeah, like it was really, really nice. The only thing that I will say is when it came time to pay, okay, let's talk about like the actual like prices and payment and stuff, everything like that. What I booked for my appointment was the perm rod set, which was $60, and then I booked a detail trim, which is $25, so $85 pre-tax. What I ended up getting when I got to the salon was I got the flexi rod set, which was $50, okay, and then I got the conditioning treatment, which was $20. So that's $70, and then I got a detailed trim, which is not detailed, regular, I think it says basic trim or dusting or something like that on the website, and it's for $15. So it ended up being the same thing, but like the manager was like, oh, you have a lot of hair, so it's gonna cost a little bit more. And I was just kind of like, I mean, I understand, but at the same time, I don't think that they said anything like that on the website, that it's gonna cost more if you have long hair. I know they said for like the silk press and stuff like that, then it is. And I know they do it like with braids like that, like, oh, if the longer your braids, basically like the more it's gonna cost you. However, I didn't see anything like that on the site for, you know, curly style. So I don't know, just keep that in mind that it might be a little bit more expensive. It was $10, so I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. So I basically paid $95 I think, and then once you add tax, call it $100. So basically for the wash, condition, or deep condition steam treatment, the trim, the flexi rods, all that together was basically $100. So I think that is still not bad. For sure we'll take that over what I paid last time, for sure. For mother sure, okay. But yeah, the vibes was really nice in there. Like Reagan was super nice. Everything that she said about my hair, the way that she said it, it was like, you know, she was just a really nice girl, you know. We didn't really like sit there and talk. It just wasn't awkward, you know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like I was a bother to her. Like everyone in the salon was like super nice. It seemed like the clientele was kind of like all over the place in terms of like age ranges and stuff like that. There was these little girls getting their hair done for like back to school. I was like, oh, they're so cute. And then there was people like my age. I'm 24. Why did I have to think about that for that long? I always think I'm 25, but I'm 24 and basically just turned 24 like a couple months ago, July. I'm a Cancer. And then there's also like older people too. So I mean, it feels like it's kind of like a salon that like everybody just goes to. Overall, it was good. It was just those two things. I think with the pricing, it was like a little bit weird. And I think with the products, I don't really care for the products, honestly, but I don't know if it may work for you, but like for me personally, I felt like it just didn't really do much for me. What else? Also that thing with the appointments being a little bit wonky. Like I would call in, honestly, but knowing myself, like if I go back, not if I go back, I would go back there for sure. Like 100% would go back. Nobody was waiting more than like 15 minutes, excuse me, for their appointments. More than 15-20 minutes for their appointments. They were definitely like trying to like get everybody in. So I do appreciate that. It's not like you go there and like you're waiting like hours, because I used to go to the salon when I was relaxed and have to be waiting hours, okay. So I guess a little like hair update. This is, we'll see like where everything is hitting right now. I don't know which piece to even use. So my hair goes to, let me hop up here like this. So my hair goes to like right here if I pull it, okay, on the side. I'll put it side by side to like how it was before, after I got my last chop basically. And then in the back it goes to right here. Okay, so I mean it's basically waist, well, I don't know about other people's waist length, but I'm short, so it's basically my waist length. And yeah, so that is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video insightful, helpful, whatever the case may be, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, bro. Like, what's good? Don't be fake. Don't be fake. Subscribe to the channel. Like, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.